What's up, YouTube? Hey, C494 here, and I wanted to start off by saying that I appreciate all of my subscribers. I appreciate all the people sharing my stuff and all that stuff. You guys are the real MVPs. I broke 500 subscribers, so that was pretty dope. So I posted that funny video for you guys. Alright, so the topic of this video, I went and shot the Snipers Unknown Challenge this past weekend. This weekend I will be going to Blakely, Georgia. Oh, my hair is messed up. I'll be going to Blakely, Georgia to go shoot the Weekend in the Arena match, which will be pretty dope. So this is my precursor to this video. There is some coarse, brash, adult language in the video. So if you don't like that, don't watch the video. This is your warning here, so I don't want to hear about it in the comments later. Me and my partner, we did not place as well as we normally do. In fact, this was the worst that I've placed in a precision rifle match. I've never been outside of the top 10, and me and my partner finished 10th. That being said, though, the match was phenomenal. I had a great time, met some great people, and I won exactly what I wanted off of the prize table. So y'all know I'm a huge fan of Control Solutions muzzle brakes. They're awesome. They reduce recoil. They do a phenomenal job for what they're designed for. But I went into this match wanting a suppressor, specifically a Thunder Beast. And off of the prize table, me and my partner both got 50% off Thunder Beast suppressors. So I will be slapping a Thunder Beast on one of my guns, or maybe all of my guns. Who knows? So that's coming up here soon. I'll be ordering that Thunder Beast suppressor, and it'll actually be going to the team that I shoot for's facility, so I'll be able to use it and like review it on my YouTube channel, so you guys will get to see it, before all this stuff. Anyway, all right, getting off topic. Snipers Unknown Challenge. This was an awesome match. It was super fun. Every single stage, had its own uniqueness and stuff like that. It was not improperly labeled, which I had mentioned before, how sometimes matches are, they're called one thing, but they're not. Snipers Unknown was appropriately named. There was definitely some takeaways that I got from it. The way that I plan on putting this video together is I'm going to show you guys, my shenanigans, of course, that I do in between stages. But then you're going to see the entire stage that is recorded, and then you're going to get my commentary on it afterwards. So you're going to see the stage, and then I'm going to talk about the stage and, like what I could have done better, what I think, somebody going into matches like this and stuff like that could have taken away from the videos and stuff like that. And, this is one of the things that I'm going to really appreciate about the match that's coming up this weekend is Saturday is the actual match, and then Sunday is it's kind of like a reshoot day. It's not for score or anything like that. You get to demo products and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to the match this weekend as well. Anyway, you got my precursor. There's coarse language. Like me and my partner, we're both passionate people, and we weren't shooting the best, so there was some language in there, and I'm goofy, so there's some goofy parts too. I think that's about it. Hope you all enjoy the video. Oh yeah, and before I get too far ahead of myself, normally whenever I go to a precision rifle match, I'll bring my tripod, and then it just sits on my bag most of the time. And then I might use it for one stage, maybe. In this match, you needed a tripod on a lot of stages, so that was definitely a thing. I didn't bring my tripod day one, and I was like, wish I brought my tripod. So yeah, there were some stages that if you did not have a tripod, you were definitely SOL. But anyway, you'll hear me talk about that later on. Something I forgot to mention that I really appreciated about the Snipers Unknown was that they provided meals, and that was that was kind of a big deal. Like, you know, whenever you go to matches, like I understand some of you have to bring your own food because that's part of the matches, you know, carrying everything that you would need and stuff like that. But at this match, you know, they provided meals, and then after day one, they wanted everybody to eat together. They wanted to, you know, build community and, you know, get to know each other better and stuff like that. And I thought that was just awesome. So really good on them for doing that. So we had like a big like barbecue dinner on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, I think everybody was like a little bit more, like it built cohesion, and I like that. I thought it was really spot on of them. Okay, so first things first, we arrived at Rucker Farms in South Carolina, or I arrived, parked my camper, talked to the people a little bit. It started raining a little. It wasn't a big deal. And this was on Friday, and I had the opportunity to confirm 0 and get any last minute data I needed to get. So there was a target at 300 yards and there was a target at 100 yards. So I went to confirm 0 at the 100-yard target. I was shooting secondary, so I was shooting my 5.56 gas gun. And I shot a 3-shot group, and it was a .17 inch group, so it was a stupid awesome group. I'll show you guys a picture of that. And then I confirmed my velocity as 2,700 feet per second for my hand loads with 75 grain boat tail hollow points from Hornady, and 2,800 feet per second out of the factory IMI ammunition using the 77 grain Sierra Match King, which, whenever you do the math for it, ends up being almost exactly the same as far as your bullet drop. Anyway, yeah, so then I confirmed my velocities and my 0 as soon as we got there, and then I went to sleep in my camper because I actually bought a camper just so that I could travel to some of these matches and stay. So yeah, that's a thing. Alright, so it's the first day of Snipers Unknown, and they're asking us to get in a van. Feel very uncomfortable. They offered us candy. I don't know. Those guys didn't know that you could call shotgun. Chestnut checkers. Alright, so I'm at the first stage of the Snipers Unknown. Stage is called Truck. And we lased the targets. There's 5 rifle targets out here in this field, and they're gray. So they stand out pretty well in this field. They're between 575 and 820, I believe, is what I lased them at, because we're in the holding area and we were allowed to laze targets from back here. And then you have to engage 4 pistol targets, and then jump in the back of a truck, and then engage the 5 rifle targets. So what me and AJ, my partner, this handsome man, are going to do is I'm going to engage the pistol targets while he sets up in the back of the truck, then I'm going to jump in the back of the truck, and then I'm going to help him spot. I want to get some footage of this stuff for you guys, but I really don't think it's going to happen because all of these stages are kind of blind-ish.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, start.
First, whatever I see. Far right, maybe.
All right, far right, top of the hill.
Which one are you shooting at, AJ?
I think it's the far. No. That's the far. It's
The farthest target?
the IPSC out back.
The far target.
Far target.
Out back.
Yep.
All gray.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on it.
Help me find something. Okay. I think I see one. Shit. Dude, I can't see nothing.
I see one.
Got me
Get on the roof of the truck.
Can I get on the roof?
You got a bag? Hey, can you see the IPSC out there at 7 or whatever? Far right?
Hang on. Yes.
Engage that one.
Far right.
Far right.
All right, there's one close. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay.
Which one?
To the right.
Yeah.
Just over the top. Okay. The middle IPSC. All right, 4 points.
You got a color?
Looks like green.
All right. Were you on yellow before that?
I didn't see a color.
All right.
I don't see splash or anything.
I'm seeing it in the dirt, but I can't tell where it's at.
Aim at the base of the post then.
What's that?
Aim at the base of the post then. I won't be able to see it. The mirage is too bad.
Okay. It looks like it's just skating right underneath it.
Okay. Did you already engage the closer targets?
There was one that I couldn't find.
They're literally right beside each
I
other.
didn't find the red one. Okay, what was the close range on the closest one?
The two close ones?
2.8. All right, I'm moving back to the close middle one.
Time!
That sucks. All right, it's already recording. All right, so truck stage. Truck stage definitely was a big like slap in the face as soon as we got there. So we go to shoot truck stage. I actually did not fire a single shot on this stage because being a secondary shooter, my job on this stage was to spot my primary shooter's splash. However, from how low we were inside of the truck, I couldn't see a lot of where his splash was going and stuff like that because the mirage was so bad. This is another time whenever a tripod would have been super helpful because it would have raised us up higher so I could have seen over some of that mirage. Like the mirage wouldn't look so bad. It's hard to explain the way that mirage like works off of the ground whenever you're sitting so low, but you would just have to see it for yourself to understand that like whenever you're up higher than the mirage, then anyway, so if we would have had tripods, we could have set up tripods in the back of that truck and been much more effective. However, we did not bring tripods on day one, So we just had to use what we had. And whenever we got down in the truck, we immediately realized that the mirage was awful and that we weren't high enough to see all the targets. And that was when I made the suggestion to my partner that he hop up on the top of the truck so that he could, be a little bit more elevated. But unfortunately, I couldn't really spot for him. I was just like, that's why we put muzzle brakes on our guns, is so that we can see our own splash kind of stuff. Like I said, it didn't fire a single shot. I was pretty disappointed with that, with my performance on that stage. Yeah, should have brought a tripod.
Contact. Left limit will be hostage target. Far right is the engineer tape wrapped around the tree. You can identify all targets.
Hey, bug spray. It works pretty good.
Can you see anything? Not yet. Alright, I got something. Where? It's not a threat target. Where? Shit. So it looks like it's directly in front of you. I'm kind of at a 5-10 degree angle here. To my left or right? To your left. I'm gonna send one. Okay.
Which target was it?
Far one.
Okay. That's killed.
You say that was the far one?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, good deal.
Alright, so now we're looking for the hostage target. Was that on the left side or the right side?
That was on the left.
Alright, so that means that this next target's probably going to be to the right of it, Summers. If I had to guess.
It's the only one I've seen so far, Cam.
Yep.
Alright, I'm up against this tree on my side, so I can't go any further to the right.
Is what? So your right limit is that tree with all the bullshit hanging off of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on. That's the one I just shot.
Is the one you just shot a silhouette?
No.
I think I see it.
If it is,
I lost the hostage.
I see a silhouette, but I don't see.
Let's shoot at it.
What color?
Gray.
Send it.
That's the hostage target, though, isn't it?
Nope.
No?
Hostage was orange, remember?
Oh well, he already shot that one then.
No, he didn't.
Just shoot at the target.
All right, Dan.
There you go.
closer than I thought it was going to be. All right, so we're looking for one more.
Hostage, yeah. I got a feeling it's right fucking in front of us.
Probably.
You see the hustle?
What kind of time we're looking at?
10 seconds.
Ha! Lol. I ain't gonna go across this so it goes off.
Time.
Go. Got it.
Send it.
This brush stays out the way.
Time. I didn't even see it.
Wait, it's this side.
Oh, so
That's
only
it,
you
that's-
can see it.
yeah.
Oh, no wonder I couldn't see it then.
I shot it.
All right, hostage stage. All right, so what happened on this stage? So they told me after the stage was over that I shot one of the targets that nobody else had shot. So apparently there was a target in there that the one target that I shot on the stage, like apparently nobody could find it because it was so well hidden. So I mean the sun was probably just to my advantage whenever it happened. But notice this is 2 clips that I put together for this one. So we were scanning and scanning and scanning, and I'm usually pretty good at finding targets. But me or my partner couldn't find targets. Couldn't find the last target that we were looking for. And the reason why is because the team before us had actually knocked the target down. So, and this is something that I had a little bit of, like sour feelings towards, but whatever. So the target that we were looking for was knocked down, and whenever they realized that it was knocked down, they gave us 20 seconds. They set the target back up, put us back in position, and said you have 20 seconds to find the target and engage it twice. So I was like, okay, that won't be that hard because we got me and AJ, and I'm running a gas gun, and he's slinging a bolt, and it's a hostage target, so we would have just had to knock it over and back. But turns out that target's only visible from one of the positions, so only one of us could have seen it, AJ, and he had to find it and engage it. So we only got 20 seconds for that. But the reason that I was sour about that is because we had way more than 20 seconds where we were looking for that target and we couldn't find it. So yeah, that was something I was a little bit sour about. And we did something that made us feel good though was that we found all the targets. Whereas no other team before us, which we might have been the first team to shoot that stage, but no other team before us had shot the target that I found. So that was pretty dope. Felt pretty good about that.
What's the point, Cam? Get up here.
You going up top first?
By the flag, if they make it up there.
All right, Tim.
I was about to say, you're going to narrow that down. I mean, everybody's bigger than that beanpole.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I got a big one. Okay. All right.
Which one are you engaging? Green.
Is it green?
Oh, no, you're not. You're engaging a different one.
It's red.
Okay. He's engaging red. Okay, to the left of that target, there's another one. Can you see it?
What we got?
Yeah, I can't tell what color
Yellow.
it is. I can just see the
Send
target.
it.
Over here. Nope, can't
way. There's a green target. I literally just saw it, I think. Yeah, okay. From right here, I can see a green target. But from right...
Can you get it?
Give me a shoulder. Come here. Stand up. Alright, I'm going for orange.
That's the rim of the pole. That's the far left. Remember I told you? That's your white target. See the ribbon on it? Okay. Wait, go ahead and send it.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Not stable enough.
You just right and barely missed it.
Yeah, no, I'm dancing all around it. Yeah, let's try again. Blade me. Turn this way so I can use the back of your shoulder.
Yeah,
Because like you'll move forward right when I'm about to shoot it. Let me see if I can get it down here.
What you do on that, if you're gonna do it, before you fire, have him hold his breath, bro. That'll help you.
I can't see it from down here.
There. You want this here? I have it.
Hey, 180.
180. 330.
Alright, camera.
Can you see it? The
Okay,
orange
I
one?
see a white one.
Oh yeah, the
It's
white
on the
one.
orange post.
Yeah, it's an orange post.
Where we at?
Looking for green. I can see green. Green. See it? Yeah, right. Where can you see? Oh.
Green.
Looking for one more. One more.
Should be yellow, right?
Great. I think that means we're out of time.
Great.
Alright, I believe this stage was called Loophole. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it was called or not. But basically, there's a whole bunch of trees and there's targets, like, you know, out in like this open area. But there's only like certain places that you can go where there's not a single tree in your way. So you had to like move around until you could actually see one of the targets in the clear, left or right. So we were engaging targets, or more like my partner was engaging targets. My partner was actually hitting targets. I was trying to use my partner, which they said that they hadn't seen anybody else do that day. I was trying to use my partner for support, and I realized that after watching the video that like sometimes whenever I was just about to shoot, or like I had just shot or something like that, or usually right before I would shoot, he would move or I would move or whatever. Like, so he would be uncomfortable or something because like I would be just making a last minute like little adjustment or whatever, and because of that it would cause, you know, him to move, which is the platform I was shooting off of. He was my shooting platform, and then that would cause a miss. So yeah, there was a whole lot of missing going on my part, trying to use, you know, my partner as like my bipod. And that was another time when having a tripod would have been way awesome, because I could have set up my tripod anywhere and just made those shots, and my partner could have done the same thing. So luckily, AJ punched all, but we found all but one target. There was one target, the yellow one, that we didn't find and we didn't engage it. Somebody had said that you needed to be on the lower level to actually find that one, and we didn't even go down there. So, yeah, that was a thing.
Why don't you get down to my position? 405.
Damn, you nicked that
What's the next one?
bro.
Next one is kneeling.
Kneeling.
Okay.
380.
All right.
Standing.
What about
Sorry,
seated?
seated.
Seated.
You're shooting at yellow.
Yeah, you hit the wrong one.
Yeah, you just hit yellow. Where's red? Oh, shit. Red is to the left.
Okay.
Camera red to the left.
So what are you shooting at?
What's the range?
Cameron, hit the yellow one again.
Yellow standing offhand.
All right. I just shot the yellow one again.
Okay, this is my fault. Kneeling.
All right.
That's green.
What's the distance?
200. Seated, red, 325.
You got 215. You guys got plenty of time.
Pistol.
Nope, yellow.
You knocked it off.
What the
earlier.
fuck?
Yellow. We hadn't shot it. Standing. Standing. You shot it twice, but it
Okay,
was my
I
fault.
got you.
382. You got this.
Which one's yellow?
Yeah, remember, you knocked it off earlier. So the second to last.
Yeah, second to the last.
Should see a little yellow paint there.
Hey, see that cheater over there?
You got this. You got this.
Time.
327. Good job. Way to go. He's dead.
Ooh, so positional shooting. Me and my partner decided that because I do a whole lot of like weird positions whenever I'm training for practice, that was going to be me doing the rifle portion of that stage, him doing the pistol portion. Pistol portion was 1 target, rifle was 4. But there was some miscommunication with me and my partner on this stage, and it caused a lot of frustration, as you can see in the video, between both of us. Mostly me. I shouldn't have acted the way I did, but anyway. So you saw that I made the you weren't allowed to use bipods, even if they were attached to your rifle, tripods, or bags. The only thing you could use was your bone structure and muscular support, or whatever you use in that way. where you can rest your rifle on your magazine. So anyway, the very first shot was 405 yards in the prone, unsupported position. So I've done that shitloads of times. You know, I've been in the Army for 13 years. Every year we have to qualify in the prone unsupported position, the prone supported positions, and you know, like, and you have to shoot, you know, 300 yards with, you know, red dots or iron sights and shit like that. So doing it at 405 yards, just adding 100 yards, and then, you know, having an actual gun that's worth a damn is way easy. So prop down the prone, pop that 405, donezo, super easy. Then the next shot, I went down to I think it was kneeling, and made the 380 yard shot on the wrong target. And that was where some of the miscommunication started between me and my partner. I got in the kneeling position to shoot the next target that was 380 yards away, but that was not the position you were supposed to be in to shoot that target. So I shot that target, and it didn't count. Then I go down into the seated position, and I was supposed to shoot the red target, but I heard my partner say, you know, shoot the yellow target again, even though the ROs were telling me something different. I was listening to my partner, you know, so like that was like, and you'll notice that like throughout a couple of these videos, the ROs will say something and I completely block them out because I'm only trying to listen to my partner. And so like my partner has my full attention whenever I'm shooting a match and stuff like that. So then I shoot the yellow target again from the seated position. It's pretty obvious that the seated position, the prone position are my two like very strongest positions. That was a 325 yard shot after the 380 that I made in the seated position. I'm sorry, I went kneeling after that and shot the green target that was 200 yards away, but it was a small target at 200 yards. Then I go to the seated position again, and then I shoot the red target, which was the target you were supposed to shoot. And then I go into the standing position and find out that I have to shoot the target that I've already shot twice from the kneeling position and from the seated position. I have to shoot it again, but in the standing position now, just because of the miscommunication that I had with my partner. So I ended up shooting, you know, one of those targets I ended up shooting 3 times. I was pretty, you know, aggravated about that or whatever. But, you know, it happens. I also found out that when shooting in the Olympic standing shooting position, that my rifle stock is too long. So I had to actually rest it on top of my shoulder instead of in my shoulder whenever I was making those shots. So it's a little bit awkward of a position to shoot from. And then my partner goes to shoot his pistol at the pistol target, and right before he rips off the shot, a gnat flies in his eye. The dudes that were there can all attest to this. The gnats were awful. Like,
Right ahead.
2 minutes.
Just off the left edge.
No?
okay.
Go for the green one in the middle of the field.
I got green already.
Did you?
No, I got yellow.
Okay.
Where's green?
Green is in the middle of the field.
Laser.
Hey, Adolph, is that first shot?
I don't know what that stage was called, honestly. But on this stage, you had to rest on the little sprinkler system thing and engage the targets out in the field. We only got a couple of hits on that stage. I want to say we only hit like 3 targets or something like that out of 5. So we did not do very well on that stage, and or maybe 6 targets. It was either 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 6. And yeah, so I just wasn't very happy with our performance on that one. I gave my partner, who was the primary shooter, the better shooting position, which was off of the tire. I opted to use the rail. And at the beginning, you'll notice sort of the cameraman didn't know what he was doing, so he kept cutting off the video by accident. I was just sitting there lasing targets, so I was trying to get distances on all of them, trying to figure out if there was a medium in between that had a small enough danger space where I could just use one hold on all the targets, which was kind of time consuming, but whenever you're trying to just rip off shots, it is faster if you do it that way, I've found. Yeah, so I think my partner hit 2 and I only hit and I hit 1, so like we weren't very happy with that stage, but it was a good stage. I don't even think you could have used tripods on that stage to shoot off of, but there's other ways that you can use tripods. I wish I had one right here right now, but I don't. Another way that you can use a tripod is as a rear support, and that's a way that I use one a lot. If I have something to rest the front of my rifle on and I can't rest it at a balance point, then I'll actually just grip the tripod with my hand, and then I'll rest the stock of the rifle on it, and it makes it a lot more secure, much more stable position. So yeah, that was that stage.
Green target?
I didn't take a shot on
That
the
was
green.
me.
You look good on it.
All right, so we're waiting to shoot the last stage of the day, the 6th stage. I think there was like a couple of video problems on the last one, but yeah, it's been fun so far. We've had a good time. I think a lot of the dudes here have had a good time too. The fucking gnats have been driving us crazy.
Move, move, move.
I'm going the wrong way.
Yep.
Too motivated.
Son of a ass. Mother did. Looks like I had to go. Oh shit. Can I move forward?
Yes, you may.
Stay in the brush.
Let's stay in the brush. Make sure you call out your targets for positive ID.
All right.
You lasing stuff?
Yes.
What you got? I see one, like, you start off at the tower and you work your way left.
There's a gray.
Yep. What do you got for range on that?
582.
582 for the gray one?
Yes. 561 on the white.
I can't see through there.
Don't tear down my blind.
Oh, that's not even touching it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's going on in there?
We're doing stuff.
Move when it's getting you caught. Stop it.
Oh, we're not allowed to do that? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Hey, did you see the like black target next to it?
I just see a black target.
You didn't see it?
I just see a black target. We don't have a black target.
Okay, dark gray target?
Good.
It's what?
Good.
There's a gray
I
target.
can't engage it. I can't
582.
get high enough.
Huh?
Distance?
582.
Okay. God damn it.
2.9.
What are you shooting at?
The black target.
Okay.
Gray.
Send it. Hit.
Yeah. Alright, now the one next to it, the white one.
Time.
You say time?
Yep.
Alright, the last stage was hide. So we start off in the car. My partner, he just kind of had his head down because you have to shoot through the windshield of the car. He just kind of had his head down, was like covering his eyes. And I engaged the pistol targets. Shot the pistol targets. We get out of the car. I don't know, I had just fight brain going on or something. I just went straight when you were actually supposed to go like immediately left of the car. So I got a little bit lost there at the beginning, and I tripped on a piece of bamboo. You can see in the video. And then we get into the hide, and I swiftly realized that on the right side, not on the left side, on the right side, the side that I went to, you basically had to have a tripod or some elevating device, or you could not see the targets. Because if you tried to lay down in the prone position from there, you couldn't see them. You were just too low. There was a hill in front of us. So, yeah, there was just no way. So I was trying to modify the position, which was apparently I wasn't allowed to do. I found out as they stopped me. So then I ended up resting my rifle on a piece of bamboo and engaging a target from there. So I think the only hit we got on that stage was that target that I shot, and I don't think we got any more rifle targets on that one. And then I shot the 3 or 4 pistol targets. So yeah, that was my bad.
2, 1, go.
That
was a bolt, yeah.
Okay. I was like, it moved. Pistol. Stand by. Take it out. We gotta go. Don't stick anything out.
There's the deer stand.
Oh, there's the orange tape.
All right, I got one, Cam. All right.
Range it.
YOLO.
On it.
I'm gonna give it one. Shit, I lost it. Okay, back on it.
Alright, I got one.
Send it.
What color?
White.
All white?
White head.
Jimbo, you got to get that one.
I got it.
What range is that, AJ?
What range is what?
The white one.
I don't see the white one. Who's talking to me?
AJ, what you ranging?
I see a blue one.
All gray?
It's out back in the woods.
Yeah, all solid color?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. Send it.
Give me 800. 700. 2.5.
Alright, I'm going for the white one.
I got you, Cam.
Alright.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
I'll switch over to gray. I can't get a good pan on it.
Yeah, I think gray's about the only one I can get right now.
Hey, can you see the deer stand?
No, I can't.
Dope.
Still on gray.
Send it.
Okay, this stage was one of my favorites. This was the beginning of day 2, so we both brought our tripods because there was, we could have used our tripods on almost all of those stages the day before, except positional. So we brought our tripods and we used them. As soon as we got in that room, we had already decided that he was going to go right and I was going to go left. So we got up in the room. He went on the right side, I was on the left side. We set up. I set up on a target and then fired, I think, 3 shots at the target. And I was like, I should probably laze this target because like I was guessing how far away the target was and it wasn't a good guess. So I rested the rifle down on the tripod, grabbed my LRF, laze the target and go, okay. Get down behind the rifle and then I shoot and then I actually hit the target. Well, then for the rest of the time that we were up in that room, I was scanning and scanning and scanning and scanning and could not find a single target. And my partner was over there just smoke checking all the steel. And then after the stage was over, they were like, "Yeah, so you only had 1 target on your side, so you were scanning for nothing." And I was like, "Ugh!" So basically, I wasted a whole bunch of time just scanning and scanning and scanning. And I shot the only target that was on my side. So, yeah, that was a thing. But tripods definitely came in clutch, for sure. Set up down there.
can see a whole lot down here.
On the clock.
All right, I got the truck. Go for it.
Clamp, bitch. AJ, did you lace these?
The truck is 300. You gotta speak up. I can barely hear you.
All right, car.
Roger.
Okay, maybe what I'm seeing is not the piece of steel. Can you see a piece of steel in the driver's seat of the car?
Stand by.
Not in the seat.
What?
It's not in the seat. The
Oh,
driver is actually on the outside of the vehicle.
Negative.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
He's in
Where's
the
it at?
driver window of the vehicle.
Yeah, that was a
Cars
hit.
are done.
All right, right limit.
Fuck's that guy? Everybody says that he's goddamn ghost.
All right, I'm gonna have to reposition, Cam.
Go for it. I am too. But not a whole lot.
Oh, this ain't much. Okay, moving again.
Got one.
Send it.
It's above the SUV.
Roger.
Alright.
I see something.
Yeah, me too. Oh, never mind, that's outside the limits.
Is it?
One that I see is. It's just a stick.
White?
Yeah, but it's out behind the sedan. Anything behind the sedan is outside of the limits.
Okay, okay.
So you saw the same one I did?
Yeah.
It's like we're fucking twins.
1 minute.
We hear ya. That's so pretty. Alright, I got, no I don't.
Well, by the time I reposition, it'll be time.
Yeah, it will. Just keep scanning them woods.
All right, one more time. Hey Cam,
Yeah.
there's one.
Okay, so on this stage, I took what felt like an eternity setting up my tripod, which was, you know, another learning thing where I was like, all right, I could have already had that, you know, prepped a little bit. Like, it could have been set up a little bit better so for, you know, speed purposes. And then my partner engaged the first vehicle. So there was 2 vehicles and there was 3 pieces of steel in the woods behind the vehicles. So you had to shoot the driver, the drivers of the 2 vehicles first. So my partner shot the one driver, the driver of the SUV, and then it was my turn to shoot the driver of the car. So I'm looking at the car and I see something orange, and I was like, oh, I'm nailing that. So once he told me it was 300 yards, I knew to give it 1.1, so I just sent it, you know. 1 shot, miss. 2 shots, miss. 3 shots, miss. And I was like, there's no way I missed 3 shots at 300 yards on something that big. So I was like, so I asked the question, I was like, do you see a piece of steel in there? And they were like, it's not in the driver's seat. So I guess the thing I didn't understand about the stage was they said you're shooting the driver, so I assumed the driver was in the driver's seat. Turns out the piece of steel was outside of the car, and you had to shoot through the windows and hit the target. So as soon as they said he was outside of the vehicle, I was like, oh, I'm not looking for a driver, I'm just looking for a dude outside of a vehicle. So I immediately found that target and shot that target, first round hit. And then it goes to scanning time. So me and my partner just scanning the woods, scanning the woods, scanning the woods. I found a straight line. There are no straight lines in nature. And I took that straight line and followed it up and found the piece of steel at the top of it. And I was like, yep, I'm engaging that. So then I hit that target, and then we scanned and scanned and scanned and couldn't find any more targets until our time ran out. And then after our time ran out, they told us where the other 2 targets were. We looked for them. I still didn't see them. It could have been position of the sun or something like that, but yeah. So that stage was, I felt good about the stage, but then at the same time I was like, but we didn't do well on the stage. And then again, I'm also very critical. So there's that.
Engage. All right, back seat's ready. Keep it outside, buddy. Engage. Stop. Keep it outside, buddy, for me, please.
Pistol stage. Okay, I think this stage might have been called Gator or something like that. This stage made a lot of the competitors angry because, you know, it is a sniper match, and they were like, oh, there's the opportunity for so many points on this stage, and, you know, if somebody could be doing, you know, terrible, you know, have terrible rifle work, but be a phenomenal pistol shooter and you know, boost their score tremendously on the stage. So a lot of people were really angry about this stage, off to the side. I was not, because, you know, y'all know I have a competitive shooting pistol background where I used to shoot IDPA and USPSA a lot. However, I clearly have not been keeping up on my pistol game because I did shitty on this stage. And my partner did too. We both did pretty bad. We were both like, man, we need to work on our pistol game. We ain't shot. I mean, we don't get me wrong. We did better than a lot of the people that were there, but like, we definitely could have done better. We should have done better with as much pistol as me and him both shoot, or used to shoot. But yeah, a lot of people were angry about this stage. I thought it was just a fun stage, and honestly, it is a sniper match. And I mean, if your big gun goes down, you got to use the little one.
Oh yeah, get in. Oh.
Go! Oh, there's the corner.
They shot each other.
Yeah, right. No rain. Try 381.
You get that one. I need to catch it.
Hit on right. Hit left. All right, we got that one. Move on to the next.
I don't see.
To the left.
I think so.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Hit the same one over here, man.
What's that?
Go further back.
Further back.
Yeah, there's another one on the backside of the hill.
We're on the very back.
Wait, did you just shoot my target? The one I just shot?
Oh yeah. I may have.
Oh, I already shot that one, man.
Are we still shooting?
Yeah, you good.
Hey, you get them all. Where are you shooting at the wood line?
Yeah.
That's 910.
The wood line might be.
Hey, if it's in front of the wood line, it's in front of it.
Yeah.
I'm blazing the wood line.
Yeah, right, you've already hit that one. You got to go to one on the wood line. But standing right here, it looks.
Hold right a car. They can't see what they can. Car!
You said we were allowed to fuck with the other team, right? I thought about taking off my brass catcher and sending them off, just like, yeah! Man, the first shot I shot, I had so much debris flying in my fucking face, I was like,
Alright, so the final stage was a head-to-head stage where you had a 2.5 minute par time, you had 4 targets, and it was you and your partner versus another team. And basically what me and my partner decided to do was the closest target I realized was close enough to where I wasn't really going to have to do any crazy holds or anything like that, so I told my partner to go ahead and start lasing the other targets. And I was going to just drop down and start engaging the first, and I would engage the first one, and then if he lays to the second one and it was less than 600 yards away, I was going to engage that one, and he could go ahead and start lasing the other 2 targets so that he could engage the farther targets because he had a ballistically superior cartridge that he's shooting out of his gun. So I popped down, hit the first target really fast, almost exactly at the same time as the other guy did. And then I engaged the second target, hit the second target. He called out a distance for a third target. I shot the third target, and then I was like, okay, that last target's way too far away. So there was just no way. I mean, the third target was far, but the fourth target was really far. So my partner hops down on his gun, and then he shot the third target because he didn't know that I'd already shot that one because it was outside of the range that we had discussed. I can't remember how far away it was, but it was far. It was far for 5.56. And then he was going to engage the last target. I didn't even see the last target. I just lased to the wood line, and the wood line was like 900 and something yards away. So I was like, it's somewhere in there. Or there was like a plant line, a vegetation line, and I was like, it's somewhere in there, and it was 900 and something yards away to that. So, yep, that was that last stage, and they told us that you could mess with the other team, and the way that I chose to do that was whenever it got close to time, and we were about out of time, I decided to just hammer down and burn up the last of my ammo that I had in my mag, so that it would kick up a whole bunch of dust and disorient the other team. I mean, obviously it got my team too, but yeah, it was mostly just fun. Luckily, we were going head to head against some people who I know, who are, you know, friends of mine, and, you know, good people, and they had good sense of humor too, and they thought it was hilarious, and a lot of the other people did too. So anyway, that was the Snipers Unknown challenge. Like, that was the, you know, the whole shebang. It was long, and it was hot, and it was a blast. I had a great time. 10 out of 10 would do again. And I think that's it. It was an awesome match. Like, that's all I got to say. Like, go shoot them. You know, like, that's, people ask me all the time, how was this match, or, you know, how would you compare it to this match and stuff like that. And you can't compare, you know, two matches, because, you know, they're just different. The only way that you can compare matches is if you shot, you know, the same kind of match the year before. But yeah, I would definitely shoot Snipers Unknown again for sure. Great people. It was a great time. It was well thought out, and it was name appropriate, and it wasn't stupid. I know it sounds weird to say, but it wasn't a stupid match. There was value to it. Anyway, hey C494.